Hold up.
Yo, what is going on, guys? It is FoxyDude98 here. Welcome back to a brand new F1 2015 career mode video for you guys today here on my channel. Today we are back with round 8 of the 2015 season here in Austria. Now, quickly before we start, unfortunately, whilst I was recording qualifying and the first part of the race, and the qualifying and the start of the Grand Prix here, the footage, the recording just froze. I had to then update my Elgato and I lost the footage previously from that. So what I've decided to do is for the start of this Grand Prix only, I'm going to be doing it from the replay camera point of view and then doing the first lap from replay camera rather than doing it from my specific POV, just because I've been having issues with trying to record this race. Because if you are actually interested in how annoying Windows 10 is, it's taken me 35 attempts to record this Grand Prix. Yeah, 35 attempts to do this one race. That's dedication, but nevertheless, you're going to be seeing it from a replay angle rather than my POV. But there's qualifying for you guys. We qualified in 3rd position, just 2 tenths behind Lewis Hamilton, who starts on pole position. It was a wet qualifying, by the way. We were on the full wet tyres, the blue marked ones, but nothing of rain coming there anytime soon for this Grand Prix. But as you can see, we have lights out, and it's away we go. And Sebastian Vettel here, I told you, I'm going from a replay camera this time. We get a bit of a poor start here. We brake heavily into turn 1. We get past Raikkonen easily, and now we're getting the slipstream. Hamilton leads, Rosberg seconds, while I'm in 3rd. Raikkonen's in 4th, and the Williamses are behind. But as you can see, we're getting a very good slipstream on Rosberg. Coming down into turn 2. Can we get Hamilton as well? We're going to go for a big move. Hamilton stays along the outside of us. Rosberg does not cut back in on us, which I expected him to do. We have taken the lead of the Austrian Grand Prix. A bit of a risky maneuver to go past both Hamilton and Rosberg at the same time. But nevertheless, we made the move stick. And Sebastian Vettel, you can see that in P1. And that's exactly where we want to be. We are in front of the Mercedes. But we run a little bit wide here. Coming now down towards this fast swooping section of the circuit. My weakest part of the circuit. I've not got the pure. Again, I've set this race up like in Canada. I've got pure straight line speed, but I do not have the corner speed. So this middle sector is going to hurt me badly. But we come towards the turn 8 of this circuit. Yes, there's 9 corners if you're wondering. Here's the final one, turn 9, and we are back to the main starting straight to enter lap 2 of this Grand Prix here. You can see we are leading Hamilton 2nd, Rosberg 3rd, Raikkonen 4th. I think it's Bottas in 5th, and then Massa there in 6th position, with the gap then building up to Ricciardo. We've come back on board with ourselves now here on lap 2, so this is the first time you're seeing my POV. You can see Hamilton there behind me. We come down towards turn 8, put the corner in nicely, just a little bit off the apex, and then into turn 9, we slam the apex and ride across the curb as we head towards lap 3 of the Grand Prix. And Hamilton there with the DRS now down the straight. Can he pull a move on us? Not quite. We've got just enough straight line speed, but we get a messy entrance into turn 1 as we come down towards this hill. Now, Hamilton, you can see right behind me. He is very, very close, and he will get the slipstream as well. So, as you can see, Hamilton's going to make a move to us down into turn 2. Can he make it stick, though? Not quite, but he stays around the outside of me. And all of a sudden, there's been contact behind. As you can see, there's lots of contact. Green flag clear. Raikkonen and Hamilton, you can see, I have a look back to see what happened, but for some reason, some sort of contact happened somewhere. I don't think I hit Hamilton, and especially as well, because it never gave me a warning saying I hit Hamilton. So something's happened behind me whilst Hamilton was trying to make an overtake on me. You can see I'm just checking the temperature of my tyres and things. But we're going to go back and see what actually happened in terms of this contact, because I'm really actually confused, which is why you probably heard it from the sound of my voice. So Hamilton goes and moves over to the left-hand side to try and make his move on me coming up into turn 2, which you can see here. Rosberg behind, and Raikkonen is also there just behind. I make the move into the corner. Hamilton tries to stick around me on the apex, and it seems like Rosberg completely just hits Hamilton. It was Rosberg that actually initially made the contact. We're right on board with it from Raikkonen's point of view. So you can see we hit the hairpin here. Hamilton goes offline. He tries to get back on the racing line, and he just goes straight into the path of Rosberg. I think that was Hamilton's fault. He went off the circuit. We're going to watch it again from Hamilton's point of view now. We're going to get a lot of POVs of this one, because I was confused myself. So Hamilton brakes heavily, as you can see, into the turn. He doesn't get it. He's off circuit. He then tries to get back on the racing line, and he hits Rosberg completely out of the circuit and nearly spins out himself. You can see Bottas there and Rosberg. We're going to watch it again, finally now from Rosberg's point of view. So he turns to the corner. He's got the racing line. Hamilton tries to get back in, and Rosberg is just there. Hamilton should have lifted off, really, given Rosberg the space, and Rosberg loses it, and Bottas now jumps in front. We're on board with Bottas' point of view. This is just after the incident. You can see that Rosberg comes in and has a little look, but you can see Bottas has got DRS here on Lewis Hamilton. And with the gap that I've managed to build now, Bottas here goes around the inside of Hamilton. Can he make it stick, though? Just about here. Bottas and Hamilton just alongside here, coming towards turn 5. as they head now down towards turn 5. Hamilton has the inside line against Valtteri Bottas. Raikkonen there in front and Bottas behind. Now, with the gap that I managed to pull, as you can see, with the contact, I managed to pull a gap, and Raikkonen, Hamilton and Bottas, so you're going to be seeing pretty much throughout this whole race, had a massive scrap, and it was really fun to watch it back. So I'm going to go over it because no one troubled me out front. Spoiler alert. No one troubled me, but we're running on board with Hamilton as he hits into turn 9 here. He's going to have DRS down the pit straight here against Kimi Raikkonen, but it's whether he can get it done. Bottas now, can you see, we're going to go on Bottas' POV for this one. Raikkonen, Hamilton breaks early into turn 1, doesn't quite get a move on Kimi Raikkonen, but he's still in good contention as they come up the hill now, down towards turn 2. You can see Bottas there in the POV, back onto Hamilton's point of view. He's got the slipstream. He doesn't have DRS though at this point, and he breaks and does not decide to go for a lunge down the inside. I would have generally thought he won't go for an inside line there, but we ride back on board with Valtteri Bottas' point of view for this point. And now we're back onto board with Lewis Hamilton, who's got DRS, and he's got the slipstream against Kimi Raikkonen. Can he get the move done? He breaks, and for some reason, just does not go for a move round into turn 4. Thought he would have gone for a move into turn 4. Possibly not, but we'll skip a little bit. We should skip it further on into that same lap that we were just on. Hamilton really just reeling all over the back of Kimi Raikkonen. He's just got to find a way past because he's clearly quicker than Raikkonen, because he's just all over the back of him. But slipstream in hand, the power of the Mercedes engine and DRS. Hamilton switches to the right-hand side of the circuit, and he breaks into turn 1. Beautiful move from Hamilton, and he has managed to successfully done the move. But Raikkonen is not happy with what just happened. He's going to hit back at Hamilton. He's got the slipstream as well. He's got better straight line speed, it seems, than Mercedes around Austria. Right, nearly hit banging wheels. You can see me there just ahead going into the corner. Hamilton now hits turn 2. Raikkonen goes a little bit off the circuit, and Hamilton and Raikkonen slot back into position. Raikkonen's going to get the DRS now because he was in the 1 second detection zone. We're right back on board with Valtteri Bottas from his point of view. You can see he's closing up on Hamilton now thanks that he's got DRS and Hamilton doesn't. And these three just had a massive, massive scrap for a very long time. But we skip further on into the same lap that we were just on, and Hamilton, you can see, is back in the same place against Kimi Raikkonen. He gets into the final corner. Beautiful entrance and exit from Hamilton, and he's got the slipstream in the DRS. You can see him closing up onto Lewis Hamilton. There I am going into turn 1 just in front of your screens. Hamilton breaks into turn 1 though, and he doesn't get the move done. Raikkonen cuts straight back around the outside of him, and now it's a complete drag up to turn 2. But Raikkonen seems to have got the move done. But Bottas, from out of nowhere, Bottas has just come through, slipped past Hamilton. He then changes something on his steering wheel, and he goes right round the outside of Kimi Raikkonen as well. Bottas, from out of nowhere, just comes in and blitzes past Raikkonen, and also past Hamilton as well. Raikkonen is now going to be stuck behind Bottas even longer. Hamilton's dropped to 4th. Bottas is now all the way up into 2nd place. And what an interesting scrap going on here. So again, we skip ahead just to further on into that lap. You can see Bottas 2nd, Raikkonen 3rd, Hamilton 4th. And now this is a chance for Lewis Hamilton to get some redemption, get up some places. Bottas is in the danger zone. He does not have DRS, but he has got the Mercedes engine. But can he get a move done? We're watching from Hamilton's point of view. Raikkonen going into turn 1 does not manage to get the job done on Bottas. Hamilton changing some settings on his steering wheel. But we come up the hill now towards turn 2. You might be able to even see me enter turn 2. But Raikkonen's going to go switches to the left-hand side to get a move on Valtteri Bottas. Can he get the job done on Bottas? Round the outside of turn 2. Great move there from Kimi Raikkonen. That's what he's talking about. Bottas, though, gets a very poor exit here out of turn 2. Hamilton's going to go to the left-hand side to attack Valtteri Bottas, and he has done it in great ease there. Hamilton gets the job done on Bottas. So Bottas' hard work to get himself up to 2nd has just completely failed, and he has now dropped all the way back to 4th where he was beforehand. But we ride back on board with Hamilton because Hamilton and Raikkonen are still going at it. We come back to the pit straight again. Hamilton with the DRS and also with the tow is going to be in a good position to attack Kimi Raikkonen as they come up towards turn 1. Hamilton moves to the right-hand side, brakes, but he doesn't get the move done. Raikkonen does the same thing again, sticks to the outside line. Perfect defending from Kimi Raikkonen to keep the Ferrari 1-2 going. I just have a look back on the camera to see where Bottas was. He's dropped back now. And Hamilton now going to try and go for the inside line into turn 2. Can he get the job done finally? Nope. Raikkonen stays right around the outside again. We pop back on board with Hamilton here, who goes for a move on Raikkonen. Hits the grass and spins. Hits the barrier. Hamilton's hit the barrier, but he's done nothing wrong with the car. Luckily, there's no damage on the car. But what a big moment from Hamilton. He had the DRS open. He hit the grass and he spun into the barrier. But he stays just behind Kimi Raikkonen as we get a nice little camera angle shot here. And literally, this is just what happened. The Ferrari, there I am there, P1, going through the turn. Raikkonen 2nd, Hamilton 3rd, Rosberg 4th. For once, we've cut onto my point of view. Yay, we all love my point of view because nothing happened to where I was. But we're coming into the pits anyway, and I thought I'd show it from my perspective because you literally aren't going to see barely anything from my perspective. I just want to point that out there. But so we come into the pits then. As you can see, the Mercedes team there on their pit wall, and we're coming into the pits here. We are on lap 9 of the race now. Raikkonen coming in as well, which is kind of annoying. That's another glitch that happens with the AIs on this game. They tend to double stack. I don't really know why they double stack, but they do. So as you can see, we come out into the pits. We've got a good gap there over Valtteri Bottas. And Danny Kvyat has actually continued onwards. He is going to be rejoining in second place. Luckily, I built myself a big enough gap, so as we come out of the pits, we'll be able to see him behind whenever the camera angle changes. There's Kvyat there. You can see him in second place. And then Bottas is in third place. But we're finally back onto my point of view of things. You can see I've got very cold tires because they've just come out of the pits. Just come out of the tyre blankets. But it was literally just a race of what was going on behind. Because as you can see it says Vettel, Kvyat, Bottas in the top left in the top 3 standings. Obviously, because Hamilton, Raikkonen and Bottas were making so many overtakes between each other, that was literally just flipping back and forth. And that obviously gave me the idea then to just record what they were doing rather than what I was doing. Because as you can see on the screens right now, this is why I showed this lap. This is literally all I did. I'm just maintaining my gap, making sure that I don't make any mistakes on circuit. And that's literally all I did. So, if you guys are wondering, oh, why didn't Foxy show any perspectives of his view? Why is she just showing it from AI's point of view? Because as you can see, this is the whole lap here, and this is literally all I did. No overtaking apart from the start of the race. Yeah, this was it. Just maintaining the gap. We have about a 3.8 seconds. We're right back on board with Bottas and Hamilton though from a beautiful helicopter angle here because the battle doesn't end there. Bottas jumped Hamilton in the pit stops and also Raikkonen, and he wants to get past them. So as they come now down towards the final corner of turn 8, you can see there's Raikkonen just in the background here. Hamilton and Bottas are going to resume their battle that they just had. So Williams had a beautiful pit stop. Hamilton with the DRS now down the main straight. Can he get a job done on Bottas? He's going to move to the right hand side like he has done plenty of times before. Breaks into turn 1. The camera changes here. We can see Bottas staying alongside Lewis Hamilton. Hamilton has to slot behind Bottas because again, the AIs go around the outside into turn 1 to try and make their defensive mover. But Hamilton switches to the left-hand side, very close between Bottas and Hamilton. Hamilton goes right around the outside of Bottas going into turn 2. Bottas has got no answer for it, and he has to slot in behind Lewis Hamilton. Hamilton with the DRS then gets away, but it's not over for Bottas. He's got more defending to do because Raikkonen with the DRS slips round on the left-hand side, but Bottas doesn't want to give up the place too easily. Bottas can see contact made between Bottas and Raikkonen as they're battling really, really hard. Back on Raikkonen's POV, now Bottas' POV. Unfortunately, though, Raikkonen has the inside into turn 5, and there's just no use for Valtteri Bottas. He's going to have to go at the position. The Williams car isn't as quick as the Ferrari and the Mercedes, and that's all happening. But we skip ahead further on to the Grand Prix, and you can see Raikkonen really with some pace. Closes up to Lewis Hamilton as they come around turn 9, and down the back straight now, or the pit straight even. And they come up towards the first corner. Can Raikkonen make a move? He goes to the inside line into turn 1. He brakes heavily and he's got the job done. But Hamilton this time goes around the outside into turn 1. And just like before, he has kept his position. But Raikkonen is not done yet. They go for the run up the hill towards turn 2. At the moment, I'm probably about 5 or 6 seconds clear of these two. So I haven't really got much of an issue of these two pairings because they're literally just scrapping away. And it's letting me increase my gap. But we're right back on board with Raikkonen here from a different camera angle perspective. You can see he's got DRS now as they break into turn 3, but there's nothing coming of it. Raikkonen has to stay behind Hamilton. Now we cut towards the further on the lap, and we're going to get a POV of Raikkonen from literally the driver's seat, so you can see how difficult it is to see a car. But he switches to the left-hand side, and again it's the right-hand side. It's not the left-hand side. It's the right-hand side. But Hamilton again defends round the outside of turn 1, and they're still going. These two, they're not giving up just yet. You can see Bottas there just a little bit further back, but Raikkonen really desperate to try and find a way past Lewis Hamilton at some point. We now ride on board Hamilton going into turn 2, Raikkonen into turn 2, and they are still Hamilton second, Raikkonen third. But Raikkonen is giving Hamilton a really difficult time out there. He got the pace round Austria. I felt that the Ferraris had a lot of pace round Austria, which was really, really good to see. Because I'm managing to keep my lead, maintain it. I'm about 7 seconds clear at this point, whereas Raikkonen is not, unfortunately, isn't in front of Hamilton, but he had got there. But that was actually the end of the battles then, unfortunately, between Hamilton and Raikkonen. Hamilton maintained his gap to Raikkonen, and Raikkonen never really got a move. So you can see then we're coming up to the final lap now. You can see Hamilton's 5.7 seconds back. And that was all the battles. So as we break into turn 8, we run very, very wide indeed. The tyres have, I literally have, my tyres have gone off by now. But we're going to do another victory, a race victory around Austria. That's 3 races in a row now for us. Hamilton finished 2nd and Raikkonen finished 3rd. I hope you guys did enjoy the Austrian Grand Prix. It was a really, really fun race to, well, it was, to be honest, it was a really boring race for me because I was literally just out front for the whole race. But for the AIs battling with Hamilton, Raikkonen and Bottas, hope you enjoyed those 3 having a scrap, because I certainly enjoyed seeing those guys have a scrap. And I'm sorry for the glitches at the start of the video, because obviously I've had a couple of recording problems. But I hope you guys still enjoyed the race anyway. I'll let the commentators say their bit, and I'll outro this video, and then we'll get ready for the next Grand Prix.
So Sebastian Vettel takes the win after an imperious drive today. It was a well-deserved victory as well for the German driver.
They have been working really hard, and today they got their reward. Superb work from both the team and its driver.
After all that excitement, it's time for a lie down, I think. Thanks for joining us, and goodbye until the next race.
Alright then guys, as you can see, confirmation there, I managed to finish 4.5 seconds clear of Hamilton. Raikkonen finished a further 2nd back, so he did drop back eventually at the end. Rosberg finishing in 5th, Bottas in 4th place. We have extended the Drivers' Championship now to 29 points. The Constructors were still ahead. Hope you guys did enjoy this race and the AIs battling. Make sure to leave a like rating, that'd be absolutely awesome. Subscribe for some more daily content here on my channel. Next up is Silverstone, the Great British Grand Prix. Until then, see you later.